Hello everyone, this is Zooc, and today I'm going to be drawing another commission for someone. This time it's going to be for a tattoo the guy is getting, so pretty big deal right there. It's going to be Malthael, or the Archangel of Wisdom from the Diablo universe. Now, I'm fully aware that the lore of Diablo isn't quite as extensive as people would like it to be, especially in relation to the game, because I highly doubt that so many people pay a lot of attention to the lore in game. But I think it's interesting personally. Like, I've read the Diablo books a while ago. I barely remember anything from them, so I should probably read them again whenever. But I liked it, probably because it's an easy read. But in any case, it's a different kind of conflict with different characters, so I think it's all good in that sense. So Malthael is a member of the Angiris Council, and I'm going to touch up on that in a little bit. He is the Archangel of Wisdom, also referred to as the Silent Angel, because apparently one of his main traits is that he doesn't talk unless he has something really relevant to say, or something that would, finalize any sort of dispute that the council might have. So he's the strong silent type. Part of the Angiris Council, as I said, which is basically the guys that are in charge of the high heavens, really, like the leaders. He is he's like sort of a scholar, you might say, but he's still a warrior, just as all of them, even though he operates in a different way. Also, one of his characteristics is that he makes use of very little force to counter enemy attacks, as in very calculated moves, like no sign of rage, pure calm, everything is good. I actually watched the little film that Blizzard has on the Diablo website, Diablo 3 Wrath, where you can see kind of like how Malthael looks and how he's supposed to look and what the whole deal is. So the great conflict is basically the fight between the burning hells and the high heavens. It's inevitable. It keeps going on. It's not going to stop. It's always there. That's why it's called the great conflict. He was part of this fight, obviously, because everyone was. So Diablo was eventually defeated in this conflict. Malthael used his weapons to immobilize Diablo, as it's portrayed in the little animated film. But Imperius, who is the Archangel of Valor, I do believe, he couldn't hold it together, so he killed Diablo instead of letting them capture him. Let's see, Imperius. Yes, he is the Archangel of Valor. He was wounded while fighting Diablo, and then that made him angry and basically led to him killing Diablo in the end, because he couldn't hold his shit together. Now let's talk about the Sin War. The Sin War is basically the continuation of the Great Conflict on the mortal plane. So the Great Conflict would happen everywhere, and the Sin War is strictly on the mortal plane. After the World Stone was destroyed, because the World Stone had been taken by Inarius, who is a renegade angel as well, and Lilith, who is a demon, who both created the Nephilim. Like, they did the deed, and from that were born the Nephilim, who possessed very special powers, both demonic and angelic. So they stole the World Stone and created Sanctuary, their own realm on the mortal plane. That wasn't discovered for a long time, and the angels were kind of pissed about this because they didn't know where the World Stone was. This was Malthael's biggest concern. Like, apparently this single fact sort of changed his demeanor and personality. It says here on the wiki, he became consumed with discovering where the artifact had disappeared to, and he was tortured by this fact. So he became much darker, sort of a wanderer, really, like didn't really participate in the High Council or the Angiris Council's meetings and all that. So he sort of became very introvert. And he disappeared, apparently, after the World Stone was destroyed, which led to the breaking of the Angerus Council altogether. It says here, some speculated that he haunts the silent halls of Pandemonium. Pandemonium is the realm where the Diablo's forces were beaten by the Angerus Council. So that's it for that. It doesn't say too much about this character, really. Like, he's not very very well portrayed, I would say, not very detailed, but it's still an interesting character, and the guy said that it's his favorite Archangel, so, you know, no problems there whatsoever. I do find the lore somewhat intriguing and to an extent interesting, simply because, maybe it's just a biased opinion. Like, I've always liked the way Blizzard portrays their worlds and characters. Actually, it's not even Blizzard, it's the individual writers that do so. And I know that people said that Robert Knack is shit and etc., but who cares, you know? It's like saying, you know, you suck because you listen to this band. Nah, it's stupid and immature, so whatever. So anyway, the Worldstone, who stood at the middle of, basically, it was the thing that the High Heavens and the Burning Hells were fighting over. It was an artifact of great power, which apparently originated at the center of the universe, object of everyone's desire. And the Pandemonium was a fortress that was built around the Worldstone as many centuries passed, which basically served as a battleground for the angels and demons trying to capture it. And eventually was stolen by, as I said, Inarius and Lilith, who used the Worldstone to keep Sanctuary hidden. So that's why the angels couldn't find it, because it was undiscoverable, basically. So that was it. The way the Worldstone was destroyed, if you remember in Diablo 2, when the Dark Wanderer, I think that his name was, well, that was Baal. He was basically looking for the Worldstone and the way to corrupt it. Eventually, Baal is beaten in the end, but apparently still manages to corrupt the Worldstone. So it was destroyed by Tyrael because he had deemed it too dangerous to let it exist. Basically, if it had been left to exist, it would apparently drain Sanctuary of its powers and in turn permit the Burning Hells to basically open a gate to the mortal realm. So after the Worldstone was destroyed, Ariat was apparently turned into the Dreadlands, which is basically like a dead place, like an arid place. Also, Tyrael died in the process, and it opened the gates of heaven and hell together. So, might have not been the best decision ever, but I guess it was a compromise that needed to be made. So, the Angerus Council, as I first mentioned, they rule the high heavens. It's 5 archangels. All of them represent an aspect or an idea, really. So, Imperius, he is the Archangel of Valor. He is basically like their leader, you could say. The one with the biggest balls. His traits include like he is quick-tempered and not as wise, but very has a lot of initiative. Could say that. Tyrael is the Archangel of Justice. He became mortal in the end, and after Malthael disappeared, he declared that he would stand in as the Archangel of Wisdom. So I guess it's a befitting role. He is the only archangel that helps humans oftentimes defeat demons and such, so he intervenes a lot. That's why he's always sort of there. Oriel is the Archangel of Hope, only female in the council. Etheriel is the Archangel of Fate. He apparently cannot see mortals because they were not meant to exist, as he represents fate. And Malthael, Archangel of Wisdom, disappeared, wanders Pandemonium, searching for answers to questions, to very complex questions. So that's a little bit of info about the Diablo lore. Not sure how many care about that. I think most people just care about getting some fat gear they can sell for like millions of gold, myself included. But at least I can say that I've read the book, so I'm a little bit ahead of people that have no idea what happens in the Diablo world. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the drawing. It took about 4.5 hours, and hopefully the guy's happy with it, and he will give me the rest of my money. I changed his armor a little bit. If you see the movie, he's basically all dressed in cloth, but I found cloth to be somewhat boring. Plus, the guy said that the details are at my discretion, so I made use of that and incorporated a few elements to make him look a bit more fierce and a bit more imposing. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for my next videos. Bye-bye.